a good way to start out a moto vlog, right? With some... Anyways, what's up, blockheads? So, just out riding over my lunch break today. It's a freaking beautiful 75 degrees. Absolutely loving the weather. Florida blessed, you know what I'm saying? Anyways, today's video, there's a couple things done to the 2020 Harley-Davidson Softail Low Rider S here. I'm gonna kind of focus on one of those and give my first impressions, thoughts, and feedback. And the one that we're gonna be going over in this video is the risers and the bars. So basically the new riser and bar setup you guys saw, I put out a video basically going over the install of that. Dude, changing out bars on a Harley, man, it is quite the job. It is not like, okay, I'm just gonna put new bars on there and you swap over. Dude, like, I mean, if you guys didn't watch the video, it was like 25 minutes and I trimmed down as much as I absolutely could, you know, and then we didn't even get into the details of the wiring and like the depinning and stuff. But damn, man, like it just always amazes me how long it takes to change bars and how involved it is. But gotta pay to play, I guess, right? One of those things you do for comfort and style. So I've had these for, I don't even know, like since the install video. I've probably had them, done a couple hundred miles with them. Just doing a follow-up video, giving you guys thoughts and feedback. So you guys can kind of see my positioning here, right? So my arms, they are pretty much straight outwards. Oh yeah, got some new ink. You guys will be seeing that. So yeah, my arms are pretty much straight outwards, and it's actually very comfortable. So the setup we have here, we've got 9.5-inch risers by Hardcase. People keep asking me, like in photos and in one of the videos a while back, they were like, what's that gold thing on the top for? That's the top clamp that basically it bolts in, right, and it keeps the bars onto the risers. You've got the same in like normal handlebars and stuff too. And then the bars, so these are by Hardcase, and then the bars are by Lucky Dave's, and these are 28-inch MX style bars, or like motocross style bars. So they basically have the bend up, right? I think it's like a 2 or 2.5 inch like pullback, traditional club style fashion, I guess. And I'd ridden somebody's bike like that previously and it was pretty comfortable, so I was like, yeah, why not? And then what's cool about it also is, since it does have this bend, if you need to go a little further down, you can always angle them a little differently, just like change the height of the grips and the controls and everything, instead of going with like a drag bar. But I did think about doing a drag bar across them, which, I mean, I think a drag bar would have been cool, just like straight out and back. I have the idea of like, maybe I'll try it one day, but dude, running these the wiring through these bars, total pain in the ass. Like, oh my god, it took such a long time. My thoughts and impressions of the bars is, you know, I've ridden some distance with them and they are pretty damn comfortable, especially as compared to like the stock bars. The stock bars are more here and you had to lean forward, so these basically make my posture like I'm upright, you know, so I'm sitting straight up, got the saddleman seat, plenty of back support, and it's just the ergonomics of the bike now after the bars are just, I mean, I feel like they're just really dialed in for me. I'm 5'10", my arms pretty much straight out. I haven't really gotten, like, if I'm riding by myself, I don't really get any like fatigue. If I'm riding with somebody on the back, I tend to like lean forward a little more, and then, you know, I like sometimes my hand will fall to sleep or whatever. But I mean, you throw cruise control on, you shake it out, right? In terms of like handling, oh sorry, yeah, in terms of handling, since, you know, I mean, it's a 9.5-inch riser, which sounds pretty aggressive, but I mean, I did a ton of research and I was like, man, that sounds pretty tall. So I'm like, nah, but everybody's going with that. And so I ended up finding a friend that works at Orlando Harley South, and he's got the, I think it was David, and he's got the 9.5-inch Hardcase risers on a Softail as well. It wasn't a Low Rider or a Low Rider S, but I mean, the positioning is pretty much the same of the front forks, right? And so I was like, man, that's perfect. And so that kind of pretty much like sealed the deal. And after I sat on the bike and like I felt that they were good, because I was looking into them already. I purchased them like immediately. Like I got on my phone, went through the checkout process, and bought them. So I ended up actually contacting Hardcase Performance beforehand and asked if they were interested in working together. I didn't hear back from them for a while, so you know, went ahead, purchased the risers, purchased the top clamp, all that stuff. But then I was undecided on the bars, and so they actually called me and they were like, hey man, you know, yeah, we'd be interested in working with you. So if you guys check out the link down in the description below, if you guys want some quality risers, man, these are great. And I'm not just saying that because, you know, they were willing to work with me, but like seriously, the quality of them is really, really nice. And I mean, you can get like a couple different color options. I went for the anodized gold, you know, because black and cold, right? So they ended up asking me if I had decided on bars yet, and I told them that I was undecided, but I did know I wanted to go a bit more narrow than what the stock bars were. So the stock bars on the Low Rider S and on a lot of Harleys are actually like 32 inches wide, so these are 28. So it does bring them in a little bit, which I prefer, because to me it makes it feel a little bit more responsive and you know, a little bit more aggressive. And if you're needing to like squeeze in between, you know, whatever it may be, if you're, I don't know, lane splitting, I mean, it'd still be a hell of a bike to lane split on, but you could do it. It's much more, you know, manageable. You know, like you see a lot of lane splitting on sport bikes and such. You could totally do it with this. I mean, that's probably about the, yeah, sport bike's more like here. It's probably about the same. So yeah, the feel of it though, since they come up, you know, 9.5 inch, and then you've got these bars which come up about another 2 inch. Ooh. Thank you for seeing me. Appreciate it. Whenever you're turning, whenever you're like, especially like low speed maneuvering, I mean, it really feels like you've got a ton of control over it. So since, I mean, think of the leverage, right? So if your bars are lowered down, I mean, you're still gonna be able to flick it around, but I feel like it requires like less, you know, like actual push on the bars to make it, you know, actually like lean. So I mean, it just feels so different. So that's a given. If you change out your controls, if you change out your bars, if you change out your seat, like these are things that really make the bike feel very, very different, you know, your points of contact. So since they're coming up further, you've got like more of that, like I said, that leverage. Would I recommend them? Definitely. I like them. I mean, I love the gold, so style wise I like that it's like more of like a machined look, a little grittier, a little more industrial kind of vibe to it. So one thing I will say about the Lucky Dave's bars though is they've got this knurling in the center, and they've got like the raw metal on the sides for the twist grip. That shit rusted, man. Like, look at that. It's kind of rusty. So I've actually got to take this top clamp off. I'm going to hit that with a wire brush, get that rust off, and then I've got to seal it up, put the clamp back on. I'll probably remove the control and do the same here, because man, that like, I don't know, I feel like there should be some kind of like seal on it, right? I get like leaving it bare metal so that it grips into the clamp, and normally like with a top clamp you wouldn't see through it, you know, because like most top clamps are solid. But you know, this one, it's kind of, I guess, skeletonized, and man, it just, you can totally see that rust in there, which is not cool. I mean, it's not like heavy rust, it's just like a light surface rust, but you know, I can totally get it off with the wire brush and be good to go after that. But yeah, just one of those things to pay attention to if you're looking into bars. I do highly recommend getting some that are knurled though at the top clamp area in the center, just so they grip and, you know, they don't shake back and forth. Oh, and you know, while I'm doing that, the good and tight poly bushings that are on here, man, they're great. They really take up a lot of that like shake as compared to like the stock rubber ones. So you know, you can, you know, go back and forth, and they're a lot tighter, which is good. Oh, and there's actually a hole in here that's like pre-threaded for the rock form phone mount and the hard case risers. I don't know if I'm going to keep my rock form phone mount right there though. I'll probably move it back to my bars, because with it right here I actually can't use my San Diego Customs bar bag, and I get a lot of use out of that bar bag, man, so I'll probably remove it. Sorry. If you guys want a rock form phone mount, I actually work pretty closely with them, so if you guys want a discount on there, use coupon code Blockhead Moto 25. It'll give you 25% off it on all of their stuff on their website. Pretty good discount. Y'all check them out, rockform.com. Anyways, if you guys want or are interested in any of this stuff, I will drop links to it down in the description below. Y'all be sure to check it out. Those are my initial thoughts and feedback. I like them. I'm really happy with it. It's in terms of ergonomics, I mean, that was my main focus. They're perfect, so highly recommend. Anyways, if you guys have any questions, drop them down in the comments below. I'll answer to the best of my knowledge. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, though. If you did, be sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button as well while you're over there. Hit that bell so it sends you notifications of future uploads and activity. And until next time, you guys ride safe out there, stay vigilant. Catch you guys on the next one. Peace.